We worked very hard for the last 4 months. Uh, we believe, and I believe, that for the last 28 years, I've done a very good job in my office, and I always say we because I've had a lot of staff people that have done just as good a job as I have, taking care of constituent service, putting together legislation, helping me develop bills. And I'd like, first of all, to thank all of them for all the work they did in making my office what I think is one of the best offices in Albany. I think the product shows that we were in the minority for 27 years and got a lot done in the 27 years. Bills passed, projects done, made all of Lake Erie safer by doing the alert team. Did a hazmat team before Erie County had one to make sure that all the towns in southern Erie County had coverage for the federal legislation that said they had to have a hazmat team. So we did those things way ahead of the time, and so we're very happy with those accomplishments. In the 2 years in the majority, unfortunately, we faced 2 bad budgets and a coup. Pretty difficult when you're a long-term incumbent and everybody's running against everybody on change, and you gotta, as a backdrop, say, yeah, we had 2 bad budgets and a coup. But we did the best we could in trying to sell our message that we were different, we weren't the problem, we were actually part of the solution. Unfortunately, that didn't resonate, and that's okay. That's why we have elections, and that's why people are given a choice that they're given, and that's why people become elected officials, to see if they can do better. You know, now from when the scorecard starts over on January 1st, whoever the new senator is, we'll see if he does better. I'm proud of all the work we did. UB 2020 is in a framework agreement which they're still negotiating. I believe that framework will become solid before the end of the year. Which might prove a lot of people wrong, but hopefully that will happen. And that's the SUNY Empowerment Bill now, and that's the only way a lot of the SUNY universities are going to survive. We hope that's going to happen. That was worth fighting for. And if that's part of the reason that I wasn't successful, that was worth losing for. Because that issue's that important, and it's something that's got to be done, not only for the universities and all the colleges in the state that are in the SUNY system, but for all the students that hope to go to it. I'd like to thank all the people that helped me. In particular, my staff, my campaign staff, just for this, 2 people we hired, Carrie and Rosemary, did an outstanding job. All the people that were on my staff, not only currently, but through all the years, I'd like to thank all of them. And I'd especially like to thank some people that went out of their way to help me in this particular campaign. Frank Max, Mark Schroeder, Cheeto Olivencia, John Glascott, Len Lenahan, and Jeremy, Mary Holtz, Norm Polanski, Wally Piotrowski, Stan Kaznowski, Laura Zeffel, Mickey Kearns, Jimmy Rogowski, all the Cheektowaga elections. I'd like to thank Dennis Gabrzak, who's here tonight. I'd like to thank I don't want to forget the clerk, I'm sorry, Alice McGursky. I've had a lot of people helping me. Nobody's successful without all that help, and good thing they have this underlined because I might have done it again. Especially like to thank my wife Cindy and my stepdaughter Naomi. They have given up 29 years of my company for me to do this job. Well, she hasn't. I haven't known her that long, but the whole time that I've known her, I've been mostly in Albany or at events. And once in a while we do things. But I'd especially like to thank her for understanding how important this job was to me. And I still remain the same way. The only people I ever cared about in this whole process were the people that lived in the district. And with that, I'd like to congratulate Tim Kennedy on his win and thank everybody very much for all the help they've always given me. Thank you. Too late, George. We're finished. If you have a couple of questions, I'll take them, but not many. I don't know yet. I'm going to kick back for a little bit and take it easy. I've been going for nonstop for months, no, actually for years. Because when you have a 2-year term, there's never an off year. At least if you do it the way I do. You're going at events all the time. You're out all the time. And the rest of the time you're in Albany. And unfortunately, the way the last 2 years went, we spent an awful lot of time in Albany. As a matter of fact, I got criticized for per diem, And it wasn't me that decided to spend 6, 7 extra weeks in Albany. It was the people that produced the coup that caused the governor to keep us for 7 extra weeks in Albany. I would have been happy to be back home working in my district, but I was spending 7 weeks of gaveling in, gaveling out in Albany. It was a real pleasure.
Do you think it was the anti-incumbency spirit that's out there that led to the result that you have tonight?
I believe that that was the most responsible issue. Yes, I believe that. People can think whatever they want, and I don't want anybody to think that I don't give credit where credit's due, but I believe it was the anti-incumbent spirit, yes. And if you don't believe it's here, and living in Erie County, take a look at what Pasadena's doing.
You're gone, and Gail Volker will be gone from Albany. What will people miss with all the experience that won't be there?
Well, you'll find out when it starts without us what you're going to miss. I happen to know, but you'll find out.
What do you think, and how will Western New York, do you think Western New York is going to suffer?
That'll be up for you to decide after a couple years when you see how it plays out.
Bill, you almost seem relieved in some capacity. I mean, it's 29 years. Is it time? I mean, I sense there's almost some relief that.
Well, George, see, I've been a competitive athlete for most of my younger days, so I understand how to be in contests. And as much as I like to win, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and you get ready for the next game. That's how you go about athletics. That's how I try to go about my life. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I can't tell you that. But I'll do something. I'm sure I'll be, there's some usefulness yet left in me, so I'll try to find something to do. And if it's nothing, it won't be a bad thing. Anything else? Thank you.